Hello, potential YouTubers and anybody else who cares to watch this. Some people have requested periodically and repeatedly tips on how to do a YouTube channel. Since I'm really pushing that, everybody needs to start a YouTube channel. Obviously, not everybody needs to. Everybody's doing their part by watching and liking and sharing and subscribing. All of that is you are actually doing something good. You're helping to spread the word. But we need more voices. And if God called Moses to be his spokesman, and Moses was like, "Who me?" God called him anyway. God gave him Aaron to speak for him, but Moses ended up doing a bunch of speaking. So you don't think you can do it? It doesn't matter. Everybody identifies with you. More people will probably identify with you if you get up and they go, "I don't know what I'm doing, but this is how I feel." Genuineness. Okay. That's my first point. All right. My first lesson. So I'm going to be spitballing these. I'm going to be pulling from my experience and from the suggestions that I've gotten from the team, some of the other, bigger, more successful YouTubers that I've suddenly come into their company, and things that seem to work. And some of these will work for some of you. Some of them are just my experience and can't be replicated, but maybe there's something to learn from them. So get out a pen and a piece of paper, and I'm going to be pulling some of this from the top of my head in no particular order. I'll try and go in some kind of order, but maybe some resourceful person out there can, even if you're not starting your own channel, you can take notes, type it out, and send it to me, and then I can post it somewhere, or I can go and read through it in another video that's more comprehensive and condensed. All right, without further ado, first and foremost, my first suggestion, first advice, be yourself, because there's nothing more original than you. I'm going to go on tangents and tell stories. So I have a friend who's in a band. I'm in a band. And so I have this friend who's in a band, young guy, extremely talented, just oozing talented, amazing singer, songwriter. And we were having coffee one time, and he's like, "Man, I wrote this song," and I'd heard him perform it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that song," and they'd recorded it and everything. He's like, "But then this other artist came out with, pretty much the same theme," and I'm like, "I might not even ever perform it and release it or anything." And I'm like, "Dude, are you kidding? The subject matter, there's nothing new under the sun, right? There's no new subject matter aside from technology as it advances. But I mean, it's just like, the themes that resonate with every human are eternal. They're timeless. The thing that makes it unique is your experience, your voice, your way of delivering it. Sometimes the first person with a popular song or with a song idea, the second person with a similar song is the one that registers, with more people. You see it all the time. Movies come out with similar themes at the same time. And often in Hollywood, that's just people trying to bandwagon or steal thunder, or, "Oh, they're making one, we need to make one too." But a lot of times it really is synchronicity. It's like these things arose at the same time separately and converge. So the only thing original is you. You are unique. You are one of a kind. All right. Now more, that's just an overall confidence boost. Like, do it, because people will identify with you. There's a huge big crowd out there. Not everybody's going to love everybody, but some people are going to gravitate in different directions. That happens with all the people I promote, all the channels that I talked about. Now, as far as the technical side, I think some of you really are like, "I'm not technical at all." I will give you the tools to get the answers, right? I can't give you all the answers, but I will give you some simple tools that work for me and that to get the answers. Now, camera, right? Camera setup, microphone setup. You watch YouTubers, you see all kinds of stuff. This flashy editing and people with a big microphone and headphones on and in this nice room and this interesting backdrop. And then you see people like me standing out in the parking lot with the light on and just holding my phone and talking to it. This is what I recommend. This is the quickest and easiest. It's like all of that learning curve for all that other stuff. I mean, some people are geared toward it. Some people can do it. Some people, and those aren't the people asking the question. So it's the technophobes. It's so ironic. I say it again, I have an Emmy for producing high quality content. And here I am just turning on my phone and talking and uploading and no thumbnails or anything, no editing. You know, go figure. It's what's working, you know? I mean, thank God, because it's quick and easy. All right. So I recommend using your phone. You can use a camera, but then you have to plug it in and upload it, and there's all the extra steps. So the fewer steps in the process, the quicker and the more content you can create. That's why I do the phone. And that's what, so not just using the camera on your phone, but downloading the YouTube Studio app on your phone. I do all of my recording and uploading straight from my phone. Literally, as soon as, okay, I have one kind of extra step that you don't need to take. Because I'm using the self-facing camera on my phone. My phone has two cameras, one on each side. And because I want to see myself, this is like my little preview monitor, it reverses the image. So in my phone, I imagine all cell phones have that same thing. If I was wearing a shirt with a logo on it, it would be reversed. And so I posted a few videos where I forgot to flip it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But the one edit, quote unquote edit, that I do before I upload is I go in and I go into edit video and I flip it, save it, and then that's the one I upload. So that's the only edit I do. Then I upload it. And then in the upload, and so all of the technical stuff behind the scenes on YouTube, I'm not going to give you those details. Here's the tool that will help you. Everybody who has a Gmail account, right? If you don't have a Gmail account, that's all you have to do. It's free. Sign up for it, right? Remember, YouTube owns your email address and owns your YouTube channel, and they share the revenue. If you get monetized, they share the revenue with you. They take a chunk, but you get the slightly larger chunk. All right? It's free. It's like brilliant and free, and you get paid if you do it successfully. But you have to have as soon as you get a Gmail email address, you have a YouTube channel. Whatever name you put when you sign up, it's whatever at gmail.com, that first part, that becomes your default YouTube channel name. So think about it. If you already have a Gmail account, you can create another one, or you can actually create multiple YouTube channels on one Gmail address. And that's what I do. I have several Gmail addresses, and I have YouTube channels associated with two of them, but I have multiple YouTube channels associated with one. I have like 3 or 4 associated with one email address. I am not going to tell you how to do all that. You can search in YouTube, how do I this? How do I that? All the answers are there for you. All right. I'm not going to make this long list of the technical. Then you go in and you click this button if you want that and you want this. You got to figure all that on your own, but it's super simple. And if you're uploading short videos, there's very little you have to do. If you want to upload longer videos, there's a verification process. It's a real simple step you have to go through if you want to upload. I think it's anything longer than 20 minutes, 21 minutes, half an hour. Anyway. All right. So that's the technical side. I'm telling you how I do it. I use my phone. If you use a camera, you got to have cords. You got to plug it into your computer. You got to transfer the files from the camera into your computer, and then find that file and then upload it, which is fine, which I did a lot, which I have done when I was doing editing of the videos. You have to do that if you're going to edit. So for other channels, I've done it. But for this one that's blown up, or not this one, Sweet Home Arizona, but the Sweet Home Maricopa one, I'm like, and this one, all I'm doing. Okay, I'm beating a dead horse. I've told you all that. All right. Now, how do you get views, right? How do you get an audience? I'll tell you what's unique about my scenario. And maybe whoever's taking notes here can write some pointers. Timing is everything. It's not everything, but timing for me, it was crazy. I had been thinking about it a long time. I'd been watching some of the channels. I mean, I had other channels that were up, so I'd already figured out the technical process behind the scenes on YouTube, how to do everything. But as far as creating a channel to get an audience, before I created Sweet Home Maricopa, I had created Sovereign Art Sock back in October of 2020 because Armenia and Azerbaijan went to war, and I was reporting on it. And while that little war was going on, I was getting some views. My highest viewed video was like at 6,000, and I have a couple others that have like 1,000. I mean, 5 or 6 videos are over 1,000, but most of my videos are getting in the hundreds. And then the war comes to an end, and it's not a hot issue. It's still an awful thing happening there, but it's not a hot war. It was like a 44-day war. And so that showed me, oh, timing, right? Timing of an issue. And so Sweet Home Maricopa, I was trying to get it started while the counting was going on, the initial counting. I'm like, I want to get my channel started a week before that ends, and I wasn't able to. I literally started like the day after, or the Monday or the Tuesday after it had finished, like on a Saturday. I don't remember what day it ended. But coincidentally, and I've said this over and over again, you know what I'm going to say. Not that I don't believe in coincidences. No, I don't. By the providence of God, Media Matters comes out, you know, this leftist funded hit squad, Media Matters, releases a expose hit piece on the top, or 15 of the top YouTubers that are talking about the audit. And the next day, the 3 top guys on the list are all deleted. Like their main channels were all deleted, and then some others fell soon thereafter. And I had already determined I'm launching my video my channel this day, and I'm going to talk about these things. And one of the things I talked about is Out of the Darkness is gone, but he has a backup channel, and here it is. And I put a thumbnail with his face on it. All right, so I put a thumbnail with Quentin's face on it. Just, this is the guy. He's gone, but he has a backup channel. Literally, it was that simple. I mean, it was like a 5-minute long video, maybe longer, but that's all that mattered. I put in the description out of the darkness again, or something like that. And what happened was those channels disappearing, people were searching, right? So that's not something you can plan. If you're going to grow a channel, you can't plan, let's have that person deleted, and then I will put the name of their channel. And so that was timing. It's timing that I couldn't have timed more perfectly. In fact, I have people watching my channels that are suspicious of me because of how perfect the timing was. There are people that think, this guy's an operative. He's in here infiltrating. He's tearing things down. He's a part of the enemy conspiracy. Like, literally, we get so conspiratorial. People are so paranoid. I mean, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching you. That's one of my favorite lines. But I'm just a real guy, and the timing was divine for my channel. But if you're ready to start a channel, maybe you can, like, whatever topic. Now, I'm talking in general. Like, obviously, I want you to start channels that talk about the important things that are happening in America, and particularly the investigations. But this applies for whatever channel you want to start. It could be like some other movement happens that people are paying attention. There's bubbles, you know, there's little bubbles that people care about, different things people care about. And so maybe there's some event coming up, and you find that there's a group of people talking about it, and you're like, oh, I'm going to start talking about that right now because it's a growing thing. And that's how I looked at Sweet Home Maricopa. I looked at Maricopa County, and I'm like, this is an investigation, the first of its kind, and it's going to spread. That's why I need to brand it this way. I was born there. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. All right. I can't create that scenario for you, a perfect scenario. It happens to be where I'm from, and this incredible thing is happening there, and I know it's going to move, and it is spreading. So it has legs, like longevity, not like that little war that happened in Armenia. I mean, that will flare up again, but this, I think, is something that's growing and is going to continue to grow. And so it has longevity. There's a potential for this to continue as long as they don't get deleted, beyond the results of the Arizona audit, right? It's like, here's the next audit, and what are the results of that one? It all started in Maricopa, Sweet Home Maricopa, and I'll be able to report on it. So that's all that's all the planning, the thought behind it from the beginning. So there is some strategy involved. Then another thing is subject matter. Well, actually, before I talk about subject matter, I want to talk about length. All right, this is very important. Length of videos. I have a channel called Tales of Truth that's hour-long interviews with historians. Right? Yawn. But it's really, really important stuff and riveting to me. But it's not, people aren't going to flock to that, right? You want to build a YouTube channel, you want to build something that people are going to flock to. That's something that's there. It's going to be there forever. And when my other project comes to its ultimate fruition and people are like, whoa, you did research on this? Let's hear more. That there's a percentage of people that want to look into what happens behind the scenes or where all this stuff came from, and then it's already there. So that's my Tales of Truth channel. That will always be there. It will continue to grow. But it's not designed for growing a YouTube channel. It's designed for having content available as a kind of a behind the scenes or ancillary materials, right? When you get a DVD and you watch the movie and then you want to learn more about what went into it. That's what Tales of Truth is. It's a behind the scenes. So if you want to grow an audience on YouTube, if that's your goal, like to get an audience on YouTube, and it drives me nuts when people question your motives. You just want to be famous on YouTube. I'm like, dude, we need to spread the word. We need to spread the truth. And YouTube will tell the world, right? It's global. Some of you are on the other side of the planet right now watching this. It's like, it's not about me. Oh, it's about me. What's wrong with it being about you? You are created by God. You are unique. He cares about you. He died for you. Okay, so it can be about you, and it should be about you. But it's not a bad thing to be about you, but it needs to be about something important that people are going to care about. All right, people are going to fall in love with you because you care about the same thing. So pick a topic that you care about so you can be genuine, right? That's what I suggest. Pick a topic. Wow, I went on a tangent, but write those are notes. Okay. Duration. The reason I brought up Tales of Truth is hour-long interviews with historians. Whew. You look behind the scenes, and the people that do watch them watch maybe 10 to 20%. Right? 10% of an hour-long video is 6 minutes. Right? And then on Sovereign Art Talk, that channel, I would do 10-minute videos, and people would watch 3 to 4 minutes. So in the behind the scenes, the mechanics, you can see, the average view duration is 37% or 33% of those longer videos, which is not good for an algorithm. People will watch a little bit and then they'll tune away, and they won't recommend it to anybody. It's like, whatever, and the algorithm won't pick it up. It's like, there's no tune in factor, it's a tune out factor. Okay, so, and me working in TV, it's all verified. Most segments in a half an hour TV show, which I worked on and won the Emmy on, the opening segment is anywhere from 8 to 11 minutes long, but it is full of flash, bang, whiz. It's actually shorter segments strung together. The rest of the segments in a half an hour news TV show are never longer than 5 minutes. Rarely longer than 5 minutes. And most of them are between 3 and 4 minutes, or 2.5 to 4 minutes long, between commercial breaks. It's like, hold people's attention for as long as you can, and then go to a commercial, and then they get shorter towards the end of the show. And the last segment in a half an hour news TV show is like a minute and a half at the most. But so short attention span. So, but people will watch a minute and a half of a 2-minute clip. That's 75%. That's 75% of your content that gets watched. And the algorithm goes, people are watching most of this. It will help it get recommended. Right? So be concise. Try and spit it out. Try not to hem and haw. Get it into, if you need to practice before you hit record, do that. I'm a little bit natural at it. I do almost zero practicing. 99% of all the videos I post, it's one take, and I put it up there. Who cares if I stutter? Who cares if I hem and haw? I'm just getting it out. But if you need to just run through it in your head, but then do it out loud. You can even record it and watch it back, whatever you need to do to get the swing of it. You're going to grow. You're going to learn how to do it. You're going to get better and better at it. Hopefully I'm getting better. But so I'm telling you, keep them under 4 minutes. Ideally 2.5 minutes max. Right? Most of them. You can do longer ones every now and then. Once you build an audience, people will watch more, want more of you or whatever. So that's important. All right. And subject matter needs to be relevant. Sometimes do a tease. All right. Start with kind of bait them, something related to your title, a question or an interesting observation. Then do your business. Like, all right, subscribe, and share. Oh, and by the way, you can see my other channel here. Just get into the habit of getting that out real quick after you tease them, and then launch into your subject matter. Right. So do a tease, do a little business, then pay it off, say the rest of it. So then titles. All right. So what happened for me, like I said, I put Out of the Darkness, Doug TeNapel, Behizzy, like those are the people getting deleted. That was in my titles. People are searching for that. And if you're going to start a channel talking about this phenomenon that's happening, the YouTubers getting deleted, go ahead and use their names, especially at the beginning. Say, where the heck is Doug TeNapel, right? Do it. And people will search and find you. And if they find you interesting enough, they'll say, I like Doug. This person likes Doug. I kind of like this person. I want to watch and see what they have to say. You'll get people unsubscribe later, but whatever. You filter through them. But go ahead and do it at the beginning, right? So I'm going to jump a little bit ahead here. Once you get monetized, right, there's a whole different set of rules. Once you qualify, which means you have 1,000 subscribers and 400 hours of watch time, 4,000 hours of watch time. Those are the two criterion: 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Then you realize, I want to get monetized. I want to start earning my share. YouTube's going to take their chunk, and I want my chunk. And they're making money. They're making money hand over fist. So why not take a piece of it? You're doing the work. Before, and this was the suggestions, like if you're going to use Doug TeNapel and do thumbnails. I don't do thumbnails anymore right now. I don't need to. Someday I probably will get back. If I start earning and the earnings go up and I could afford it and pay somebody to do some of the busy work, and even a graphic guy to just do the quick thumbnails, I'll probably start doing thumbnails again. But at the beginning, you can do thumbnails and put a picture of Doug if you're talking about Doug. Put a picture of Quentin, it'll draw people. But if you start growing, and then when you get to monetization, pull those thumbnails down, change the titles. You can go in and change the titles. Take the names off, because those guys are marked. They're targeted. It's bad. It's bad for them. It's really bad. It's unfortunate. But look at it this way: they've done the groundwork, right? They're the first troops to go out and get shot down, and they're coming back. They're gonna. I've been talking to both of them, and they've got plans. Their channels will, be back, and we're trying some different things, and I'm a part of the team. We're gonna see how to do it. But they just launched out there boldly, and then blah 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 blah, took the fire, and then the rest of us are like, why did that happen? Well, let's try these things and see what happens. And a few other people get shot down, and some of us are surviving. I'm so new. It's like, I haven't received any strikes yet. Okay, so I'm taking their sage wisdom from experience. Like, all right, take all the thumbnails off, change all the titles, make them all just kind of. This is just for the monetization review process, which can take anywhere from 24 hours to a month. For me, it was like a week and a half, and just for that period, go through all of your old videos, change the titles to. The titles still have to refer to what's in the subject, in the content, but make it mundane. Like, just make it something that's not going to draw attention. Like if you're talking about, say you're talking about the investigation of the Arizona ballots, and this guy said he doesn't believe any of it, and it's all crooked. And name your video "Disagreements in an Investigation," right? Just like disagreements in an investigation. People are like, whatever, right? So instead of saying Ken Bennett has an issue with, right? I mean, instead of putting the recognizable hot button words in your titles and descriptions, all right? So that's just for the monetization review process. Then, all right, so let me back up. Is there anything else? I can't emphasize enough. Be yourself. Oh, and post regularly. Okay, way back, probably before I started my first channel, Tim Pool was like the first YouTuber I started watching. I didn't even watch Ben Shapiro. I did start watching him a little bit, but like Tim Pool, somebody recommended him to me. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's doing investigation. This guy's actually a research investigative journalist, like old school. And he always said, start a channel. He was saying the same thing. Start it, do it. You just got to keep doing it. He was doing it for years, and he would do 6 videos a day. And his videos were like, he would do like 5 10-minute videos and 1 20-minute video a day, 7 days a week. So he was doing 3 hours of content every day, eventually. And built up very slowly, very gradually a following. Now he's got 1 million subs on 3 separate channels, just about. I know 2 of his channels have 1 million plus subs. But he's like, just got to do it every day. Be consistent. And people, and don't take 4 days off and then do a video and then a month off and do 2 videos. It's like, you will not build an audience. People will forget all about you. All right. So got to be ready to post. You can do 1 a day. Right? And some of you are saying, 1 a day. If you're doing short videos, turn on the camera, whatever the latest headline is, talk for 2 minutes, turn it off, upload it. Just put it in your schedule. If you have a routine, just find a place to squeeze 10 minutes in to record and upload. It doesn't even take long if you're going to do 1 a day, but I recommend doing, when you start off, try to do more than 1 a day. I mean, it's up to you. And I take a day off. And I think for me, that's an important principle. It's kind of a purging day. My last Sunday, I had a net negative subscribers. It's never happened on that channel, on the Sweet Home Maricopa, because I grew so fast. You're constantly, when you grow fast and you have a lot, you're constantly having people unsubscribe and subscribe. And my subscribers just way outpaced my unsubscribers. But last Sunday was just a bunch of new people realized, oh, this guy talks about Jesus on Sundays, and that's not my thing. And then I brought up this controversy with Ken Bennett, and people were soured on that. So I had like -6 subscribers, a whole bunch more than that unsubscribed, but some people did subscribe, but it came out to -6 subscribers. It's like, whatever, that's going to happen. Don't be fazed. That's another thing. Don't be fazed by the hate and there's crazy haters out there. Remember, you're stepping into the public square here. You're not in a safe little church. The metaphor I like to use is a street corner church. You're going to be surrounded. You got your loyalists right tightly around you. Your security, everybody that loves you is going to be all around you, and they're going to be praising you, and you're holding you up and cheering you on. And then there's going to be these people shouting and barking and saying nonsense, just absolute nonsense, just to be offensive and shocking. It's going to happen. And if you can't handle that, then don't do it. Don't do it. They killed Jesus, right? but it's fun, right? It's fun. You just ignore them, and that's why. And this is completely up to you, but I think right now we're testing it out. The tall guy, Doug, says if you survive, it may very well be that you have held all comments for review, and you just don't let all that nonsense through. Because if you just allow comments, all the nastiest stuff that people can possibly say will end up in your comment section, and YouTube will go look around and say, oh man, this guy's really drawing the loonies and stirring stuff up and fomenting violence or whatever. So, Doug and I don't think Doug and Quentin did that. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of just turning off comments, the interaction with the audience is important. I love you guys. So I'm learning from my audience, and that's what you're going to do. You need to adjust to your audience. You don't need to take every criticism to heart, but I started off playing a guitar and singing Sweet Home Maricopa, right? That was going to be my little jingle. And, I'm in Hollywood. You do a theme song. And I'm like, and some guy goes, lose the guitar, dude. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not very good at guitar. I can sing, but it's not necessary. I am an entertainer, but I can build other channels for that kind of stuff. I hope somebody's taking notes because I am just rambling here. So turning comments, I'm recommending it, right? Review comments, but you got to be ready, especially if you blow up like I did. It's going to be time consuming. I can't read them all, and a lot of people they have a lot to say, so I have certain keywords that I look for that I will reject. Now, if there are trolls, not even trolls, if there's just people that are constantly negative, that only comment negative things and I'll respond to other commenters with just criticism, I remove them. I just hide user from the channel. I just do. It's like, I don't need that. Nobody needs that. I mean, there's plenty of people saying bad things, negative things that I let through, but if it's somebody that's persistent, it's a poison, somebody just poison, remove them. If they're nobody will see them anyway if you don't approve the comment, but I'd rather not even read the comments, so I remove them from the channel so I don't have to see their nonsense, okay? But and I'll say it here, the things that I'm not allowing through, I did a why I'm censoring or why I'm screening. I did a video called Why I'm Censoring or Why Censorship over on that channel, just so people understand. But I'll repeat it here. For my content, I do not, any rendition of Trump won. Trump was victorious. We all know Trump won. Every now and then I'll let a little one through. It says Trump won Arizona, but it's at the end of a long paragraph, and I liked the stuff in the paragraph. I'm not going to let that through. It's a foregone conclusion that that's the consensus in my heart and on my channel. You don't have to say it, and they're going to flag it, right? Well, I don't know if they're going to flag it, right? Because they think we're a bunch of conspiracy theorists, right? They think we're QAnon, right? They think that this is like wacko conspiracy theory, and if everybody's saying Trump won, it's like you're going to be. I just feel that the likelihood that they would frown on you, all right, even though people are cheering it on, it's a good thing. I love hearing it. I'm not letting those comments through. Another one is stolen election. It was stolen. The election was stolen. I'm like, I'm sorry if I loved everything you said, and I even might agree with that. I'm not going to let that in my comment section. I'm sorry. Also, anything that talks about hang 'em. I mean, I have let a few of those through, like treason. The punishment is this and that, like death. Anything that's just an overt or hint at violence, even if it's metaphorical violence, or even if it's the actual law that's what should happen. It's like, I don't want to be one who is seen as allowing the fomenting of physical violence. Like people saying only the military can solve it. I'm like, as much as I love the military, and as much as I believe that is the ultimate last resort, I'm not letting that through. And that's my choice, right? I don't know that would get flagged, but I'm like, okay, certain things that just push a little far, here's another thing I'm not allowing. Prophetess or prophet said such and such, right? And the book of Revelation says such and such. right? And these are the signs, and I'm not letting any of that through. I'm sorry. We're Christians here, but most semi-biblically literate Christians understand that eschatology is this broad spectrum of interpretation. Okay? And many of those interpretations are orthodox, right? There are interpretations of eschatology that you absolutely oppose, and you might even call it heresy, but you're wrong because it's within the pale of orthodoxy. Remember, eschatology is not an essential doctrine, right? There's only one essential. Jesus is coming back, right? But then there's all these other interpretations of what is supposed to happen in our future and what the Bible says about what's going to. And so it's like, my channel is not going to, I've allowed a little bit of it through, but my channel's not going to align with one of those interpretations because they're all within the pale of orthodoxy. You can be a Christian, a genuine born-again Christian, and believe any number of things about what's coming ahead. All right, so if you've commented in that regard and have not seen it get through, I'm telling you now, that's why. I have another channel that I'm launching that will deal with a lot of different theology and Christian apologetics, and that's where you can talk all you want about that. But this channel is not going to allow that. So I'm just giving you examples of what you can do and the kind of the lines you can draw for your own channel. I'm sure there's other pointers, but maybe let me just summarize some of the important things. Short, quick, punchy titles, like short, quick videos, frequent posting, once or twice a day. Take a day off, I recommend it. But the titles need to be kind of generic and related to your subject matter. And people will accuse you of clickbait, but those are the ones that get the attention, like huge Michigan news, right? I've seen Q get 30,000 views on that, right? So I don't do quite those things. I mean, I do my own version of them, but I try to be a little more specific in mine, and I know some of my videos suffer as a result, but so be yourself, be unique, post short videos frequently. All right, boy, this is long. This is a tutorial. If I left anything out, I'll do it in the next one, or you can send me your write-up of your notes of what I've said here, and I can add to it or subtract from it. All right, there you go. Now I'm going to do a video for Sweet Home Maricopa telling people that I've done the tutorial over here on Sweet Home Arizona. So I will see y'all later. God is in control. Even if bad things happen, He's allowing it, right?